Today I want to talk about Lady Godiva. First, let's start from this point. What is a diva and what does it mean? Diva means in paganism idolized woman. The Romans, Europeans of today, believed in many different gods and goddesses such as Zeus, Aphrodite, and etc. And one of these notions, diva, has mean female idol. Now I will tell the story of Lady Godiva. Godiva, known as Lady Godiva, was an 11th century Anglo-Saxon noblewoman who, according to a legend dating back at least the 13th century. Godiva was the wife of leofric, Earl of Mercia. Godiva was also the first woman to be mentioned in the Domesday Book. Actually, the reason of that she's so famous, the statues of her were made, poetries and songs were written for her, is not she's a lady. Now I want to mention about a mystery. First, as in many cases, Lady Godiva is a character who is interpreted by everybody according to their own opinion. Contrary to commonly held belief, she rode naked through the streets of Coventry, England, not to gain a remission of the oppressive taxation imposed by her husband and his tenants. She disobeyed right of the first night, also known as primae noctis and droit, seigneur. Voltaire condemned it in 1762. It's a plot device, Beaumarchais, the marriage of Figaro, and various old histories refer to it. We know that medieval lords have ride of the first night with the local brides. The ride of the first night prevailed throughout much of Europe for centuries. By the way, it's also true that in some feudal jurisdictions there was the requirement that a peasant get permission from his lord to marry. According to this first night law, every new woman had to make it with best chivalry, I mean lord, in hierarchical structure. One day, Lady Godiva's mates, who always live with them, wants to marry. Therefore, leofric, Godiva's husband, wants to make it with their mate. And Lady Godiva can't stand this situation. She says she will strip naked and ride through the streets of town. Despite her entreaties, leofric doesn't give up. Afterwards, she rides naked through the town Coventry. Lady Godiva took him at his word, and after issuing a proclamation that all persons should stay indoors and shut their windows, she rode through the town clothed only in her long hair. And it's related just one person in the town, ever afterwards known as Peeping, disobeyed her proclamation in one of the most famous instances of voyeurism. But again, contrary to commonly held belief, this person is not Tom. He is a man called Droit. After this event, the word Röntgen emerged. And in the 1500s, this story a bit deformed. And it's related that Earl Leofric subjected his wife to ride through the streets of the town stripped naked. And at any rate, Lady Godiva is more famous than most of the queens, princesses, and folk heroes. Despite, according to some people, she's a saint, and according to some other people, she's an exhibitionist, she is overly famous. Her story was filmed. In the name of her, festivals are still arranged. The statues of her were made. Songs were written for her, and a worldwide famous chocolate brand was named Godiva. The famous Godiva chocolate is named after Lady Godiva and features a styled rendition of her right as its logo. Alfred Tennyson wrote a poem about the 1842 Ride of Godiva. There are also several paintings with this design, including of the English Pre-Raphaelites John Collier and Salvador Dali, 1971. Vítězslav Novak made it the subject of an approximately 15-minute symphonic poem. And also the opera Isabel by Pietro Mascagni from 1911 is partly based on the story of Lady Godiva. And it's also told that she was the idol of rebellion and freedom, and according to community, she was a very self-respecting woman. Given the sexual tension that the appearance of Tom creates between the observer and the observed, the prudent and the chaste, the punished and the rewarded, their pairing anticipates Sigmund Freud's clinical definitions for scopophobia and exhibitionism in terms of one another so well that he almost seems to have room in mind for the former and Lady Godiva for the latter. As you know, the Lady Godiva myth is filled with contradictions, so many contradictions. And myths have also traditionally done as the cultural work of passing down history, tradition, and shared values. Finally, we clearly see that Lady Godiva disobeyed right of the first night, not the oppressive taxation imposed by her husband. As can be seen here, some stories in history can be easily deformed because of some narrators or some people's comments.